A very good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all of you guys. Um, I think there are still few people who are yet to join. Few students are taking my help in joining this. So since this is the first session, just give me 5 minutes. Probably I'm just helping few students to join here, and then we can start. A very good morning to all of you guys. So before I start, can I get a quick confirmation if I'm loud and clear to all of you? Rupesh, I was helping some students to join, so that's the reason I was not speaking. Okay, so now you are able to hear me loud and clear, Rupesh? Great. So let's start. Let me first share my screen and welcome to all of you for this interesting tech club session. So we're gonna have this machine learning and deep learning. I think most of you have joined for both. If I'm not wrong, almost every one of you. So it's going to be a long journey. We're gonna connect for almost 2.5 months, which is quite a long journey. It's just like I will recall all your college semester days where you used to have a course and you have to kind of spend some good time on that. So it's going to be like a college semester. So but it's going to be in the end. The end results are going to be quite fruitful. So it's going to be quite interesting sessions. Great. So I think everybody knows me already, so I need not introduce myself. Almost all of you have talked with me in my previous sessions. So few of them are repeating in these sessions. They just kind of repeating the machine learning and deep learning part. And welcome to all the new students as well who will be going through this machine learning concept the first time. Now, there is always, whenever I talk to the students, there is always a question that, oh, machine learning looks like maths. Will I be good enough to crack this? Will it be easy? I don't recall my maths days. It was long time back we have learned it. No worry at all. I will take care of each and everything from base. No need to worry if you don't kind of refresh your maths, or if you don't know how to do what. Really doesn't matter. I will take care of each and everything from scratch in the session. Okay, so I will ensure that even if you don't know anything in math side, stat side, calculus side, I'm there. Okay, I will ensure that you understand each and every concepts of building from scratch, and in the end you will notice that we will be creating lot of advanced level projects as well. Okay, for example, recognizing face, how to play with stock market. We will be playing with all those things. So it is going to be in a way that you will be kind of learning a lot with respect to kind of base, and then building up strong projects at the end. Okay, so that's so we will be when I say we will be building projects, we will be building within the class. There will be a lot of projects for you which you have to do as a homework activity also. I will keep on telling you about that. So for the course, there will be some 10 to 12 projects which you have to solve. I know this number is not small. 10 to 12 projects with R and 10 to 12 projects with Python also. Okay, so lot of work will be at your end as well. And my strong recommendation would be, see, this is a long 2.5 month course, and you have to spend with me some just 2 classes per week, which means you have 5 days to kind of go back, revise, spend time on the projects, and come back. So every week except the first week there will be projects. Only in the first week we're gonna have some sort of no, we would not tomorrow. I think tomorrow we have we don't have it. Yeah, it will be next week. So just for first week there will be no kind of projects. There will be just assignments which you have to solve. But starting from next week you're gonna have projects. Okay, you're gonna have projects. So those projects are basically going to be kind of very helpful for you to make your understanding better, to kind of understand the things, and kind of when you will build this, you will understand that how in real-time industry you will be kind of solving these stuff as well. So please make sure that you solve the projects properly, so that you also keep on gaining the confidence as and when you go ahead. Okay, so that is something which you have to follow along with me. Now, coming to the language part, earlier I used to take this course only with R programming or with Python programming. And I have noticed that most of the students come back to me telling that, you know, they are getting the particular job in Python or in R. So they struggle basically, or they have to leave their job just because of a language factor. They know the concepts, but just because they know R and the company is looking for Python, or vice versa, they face the trouble of getting the job into the market. And that's the reason I decided to include both. Yes, Suren, you are very much here. I can hear you. Means I can't hear you, but I can see your chats. Okay. So the reason we have kept all of you on mute, so to avoid some sort of background noise. Otherwise, out of all the 15 students, if everybody started making some noise or background noise, it will be kind of disturbed. So I want to keep the things just like how it is at my end. Like you can see that it's pitch of silence. You might be able to hear only the fan noise and nothing more than that. So that should be the case. But in case if you want to talk, you have to just let me know. I will unmute you and you can talk. Okay, just to make Suren once. Hey, hi, Suren.
Oh, hi.
So, like this, you have to just let me know, and okay, I will just unmute you and you can talk for whatever questions you have. Great.
Sure, thank you.
So, basically, this is what we're gonna work on. As I said, we will be covering with R and Python both. We will ensure that we will be walking over R and Python in such a way, not in Scala Venkatesh. We will be covering this course in R and Python. See, this is not a Spark course. This is basically a course related to machine learning. And when it comes to machine learning, 90% of the job, in fact, I should say 95% of the job, are covered by R and Python only. Remaining 5% is the only job portion which is left with Java, Scala, C++, and other programming languages. Okay, and trust me, guys, it's of no use if you try to learn with all the languages. It's all about concepts, and that's the reason I have decided to cover that 90-95% of the thing. Because what is happening is if 40 to 45% belongs to R, then 40 to 45% again belong to Python. That's the core reason why. Basically, it's almost, you can say, half of the market is by R, half of the market is by Python. So you have to kind of you should know both, but none of the other programming language is what you need. That's for sure. Even with Spark, if you're going, you have to go with Python, not with respect to Scala. Scala with Spark is good, but when it comes to ML algorithm, they work with Python only. Okay, great. So basically, this is about what we're gonna do in this session. As I said, we will be building every maths concept from scratch, making sure that everyone remains comfortable. We will be building on programming language also from scratch. So let's say in case you have, you know that you will not be able to spend time in learning programming languages. You might be feeling, I don't know R and Python both. Do not bother about that. I will ensure that by the end of just few hours, you will have enough programming language skill set under your belt that you can crack any of the machine learning, deep learning problem. Okay, so no need to bother about if you don't know any programming language also. I will ensure that you understand each and every concept related to maths. You will understand each and every concept related to R and Python both, and go ahead with that. No problem with that. Okay, so we will be covering everything, assuming that you don't know anything. Now, one more important point. There are few students who have repeated these sessions. Okay, who basically are just repeating these sessions. They have already done the batches from me in the last classes and all. I would just request all of them to please keep patience, okay, and not to bring any of the future topics. I can understand that you can very well relate to the questions of future. Maybe I'm talking about machine learning and you kind of jump to deep learning and try to relate the concept. I would suggest please have patience, okay, because there are beginners in the sessions. I have to take the sessions from the beginner point of view also. Once your topic will come, then you can ask that question. I'm pretty much okay, but just a request not to jump to the topic, given that we have lot of freshers. You can just think of like at your sessions, I have done the same request from all the basically repeated students, so they have also helped you in kind of in the same part. So I would request the same again from all of you, so that you can understand that there are beginners and we have to ensure that all the beginners understand things well and they should not face any issue. I will take the session. Yeah, that's good, Pankaj. And Pankaj, good to see you back. I think you have joined the sessions almost 6 months back, so it was nice to see you back. I think even your friend Natrajan must be here. Natrajan, are you here? Let me just confirm. He's also repeating. Yeah, I can see him. You both can work together this time on the projects. Yeah, hi Natrajan. Just a request, can we go through overall plan and sequence of topic before we start the training? Sure, Shrin, I can do that. That's not a problem. See, the way I'm gonna take these sessions would be, I will be starting with respect to your R programming language. Okay, so we will be starting with respect to R programming language. followed by Python programming language. So today's session will be all about R programming. Next session will be all about Python programming, which is going to be next week. Then after that, we're gonna jump to our machine learning. Okay, we're gonna jump to machine learning. In machine learning, we will be discussing on various concepts. We will be talking about regression. This will be in detail. Then we will be talking about classification, where we're gonna talk on all the algorithms of regression and classification anyway. And here we will also be basically we will be kind of introducing, while teaching this machine learning concept itself, I will be introducing a lot of statistics and maths. Okay, so basically here I'm gonna introduce both the things. We need to do assignments in both. I will leave this completely up to you. If you can do in both, it would be great. But let's say you feel that no, I'm more comfortable with R than Python, you can do that, or vice versa. It's completely up to you. Now, statistics and maths will be introduced along with it. Then after that, we will be covering about clustering. We will be talking about clustering components, how basically your unsupervised learning works, all those things we're gonna talk about. Followed by, we will be discussing about how to build a recommendation engine. We will be talking about how to perform kind of text mining, which we also term it as NLP. Okay, so we will be covering those concepts as well. And basically, we will be talking about some optimization techniques on this, on all the machine learning stuff, how to basically work with respect to your optimization techniques and kind of solve some sort of interesting problem. Little bit of reinforcement learning, that what exactly is that, not going into depth of it, but yes, we will be talking kind of some portion of this as well, that how to work on the reinforcement learning and what is that all about. So these will be the major topics we will be covering. Yes, there might be few minor topics as well here and there, which we might be talking about, but these will be the major topics we will be covering. Okay, any questions from anyone? Hi Hema. Text mining is written here, Vikram. That's the same thing. Text mining is mentioned here, sir. Okay, people who are getting confused with an NLP term, it's basically nothing but text mining is nothing but your NLP only. You will be using NLP package to solve this. Because few concepts will be a part of deep learning, Emma. It's everything is mentioned in your browser itself. So when I say optimization technique, this covers like dimension reductions like PCA, LDA, all these algorithms as well. Okay, great. So let's talk about these things in detail. Okay, Hema, if your question was related to reinforcement learning, was the question related to reinforcement learning, why we are not going into depth of this topic? Okay, so first of all, reinforcement learning is a domain just like your deep learning. It's just like a 30-hour separate course itself. It's basically just to give you an introduction that what is reinforcement learning, so that if you are interested, you can go and jump into that. But if I have to start reinforcement learning, that will be a separate course in itself. It's not a part of basically a machine learning or deep learning. It's a completely different learning path itself. It have a different approach to solve the problem. Got it? So this is just basically, that's the reason even in the browser also we have mentioned it very clearly that what we're gonna cover with reinforcement. But if you look at the reinforcement learning, that's basically a huge domain in itself. And to be really frank, all the things which you can perform with reinforcement learning, natural language processing. It's basically Naveen called as text mining. Basically, you're given a text and you can solve few things with it. No regression. That's not a part of this. That I covered it as an extra thing, I think, in Pankaj batch. These things I keep on bringing if I have time. That's something you leave it to me. I think in Pankaj batch I covered that topic, but that was an extra topic. Yes, Atendra. It's gonna come. So this is about the course portion. Okay. Now here, basically, let's start with machine learning, basic concept. What is machine learning? And then we will be moving across to R programming language. Any questions from anyone? Please shoot right away so that we can continue. So that's great, Chatendra. Great. So I'm just moving here. So why machine learning? Why we are talking about this subject? Why it is so important? You might be hearing it that machine learning is the one which kind of is buzzing into the market. So many jobs kind of bashing into the market. Every day you open the news, every company or every one of the other companies claiming that we are going to invest a huge amount in machine learning and AI. What is all this? What exactly is this happening? Why this is getting so popular by the time? The reason is because it adds intelligence. Till now, the algorithms what you write are in a way that you tell the algorithm do this, algorithm will come up with some sort of logic and give you the particular solution. For example, you tell to your basically your algorithm that I want to perform 2 plus 2. So your algorithm will basically take up maybe two variables, put the things into it, and then add them. So what your algorithm is doing, your algorithm is taking a specific path which you are telling to that, and basically that is then coming up with some solution. So every time you run that algorithm, you will always get a deterministic result. Means you will always get a predefined result. If it is going to be 4, it is going to be 4. It is not going to change. Because your algorithm, when you will run again and again, it will keep on following the same path and give you a particular result. On the other hand, when I say machine learning or deep learning, what is happening there? It is adding a intelligence to your algorithm. It's just like you are adding some brain to some other component. You are adding a human kind of brain to it. Now, what machine learning algorithm do? What machine learning algorithm do is, machine learning algorithm kind of, if you tell to that machine learning algorithm do this, it do not follow exactly just the same path. It can follow its path based on the learning. Means machine learning algorithm is going to be working in a little intelligent way. What I mean by that intelligent way, it is going to learn from whatever data you are giving, and based on that data, it is try to come up with a path and give you some solution. Now, every time you run that algorithm, it is not mandatory that you get the same exact result. Because with different data, you may choose different algorithms. Your algorithm itself may choose different path. So there are a lot of things which machine learning algorithm do on its own. To give you an example, like in your Gmail, you might have noticed that there is something called as spam box. So if I talk about Gmail, there is something called as spam box. So when an email comes to you, you decide whether it's a spam email or a non-spam email. Not you, basically your algorithm decides. So behind the scene, actually machine learning is involved. So what machine learning do? Machine learning, the algorithm runs and it very quickly figure out whether it's going to be a spam email or a non-spam email. And based on that, it basically your email goes to a different way. Now, if you do recall your old days, in older days, lot of genuine emails also used to go to your spam email box. But nowadays, it rarely happens. It rarely happens. Because nowadays, if you notice, you will figure out that basically that all this all these things are being dealt by that algorithm properly. When I say all these things are dealt by algorithm, what I mean by that? That smart machine learning algorithm is becoming intelligent day by day. Okay, that is becoming intelligent day by day. So what that machine learning algorithm is doing, that machine learning algorithm is basically learning from its past mistake. Let's say by mistake you have marked any of the email as spam or non-spam. Based on that, basically that algorithm have done that and you have basically corrected it. In that case, that machine learning algorithm can learn from the mistake, and based on that, next time if such activity is going to happen, it will correct itself. This kind of activity is not possible with your normal algorithms. This kind of activity is possible when you are applying some smart algorithms like machine learning. Okay, so machine learning algorithm is nothing but an algorithms like a normal algorithms, but with an extra intelligence. That is the reason this machine learning algorithms are becoming famous. That's the whole reason behind this buzzword getting created into the market. And I would congratulate to all of you for taking this interesting journey of this machine learning. It's basically, I would say that I should call all of you the future machine learning engineers, because right now, if you opt for this path, this is definitely going to help you in long term becoming an architect, becoming like a natural thinker, becoming and kind of solving some interesting problems into management field. This is quite useful. So lot of places this is going to help you across, and plus definitely it have a huge money involved in it. Let me tell you why. When it comes to other domains like big data, Spark and all of that, the thing is, you will notice that it's still straightforward to learn. It have a very straightforward approach to learn. If you pull up my video recording itself, you can basically learn it quite well. It's kind of easy. I think I'm pretty sure that in this batch, TechLove have already given you free recordings, and a lot of you have just learned big data and Apache Spark by just walking through those recordings. That's kind of that easy subject. When it comes to machine learning, deep learning, how many of you, I'm asking from the new students, how many of you are here who's tried learning machine learning on their own, but they gave up because of lot of mathematics involvement, or because you felt that it is too difficult for me to grasp? How many of you are there in that category? Okay, Rahul. Anybody else? Okay, only two people. Emma, Xavier not right. Sai, we both. Venkatesh. Oh, almost 6-7 people came up and mentioned the same thing. Right? That is basically is a very general trend. Now you can imagine, out of 10 new students, if 6 people are telling that they tried and they gave up, you can imagine what will be the ultimate percentage for outside people. Right? If I talk in general term, what will be the percentage basically of this? The core reason is because people do not understand the basic what is happening behind the scene, and then they start learning it and basically they just give up, because then you will find machine learning to be a complicated topic. This is one of the major reasons why machine learning domain do not have that many number of engineers what are required. That is the major reason, because lot of it's not an easy subject to learn. Lot of people just try and give up. And I just showed you in the class, if you go outside and talk in any general forum, also discussion forum, you will notice the same. You will notice exactly the same. That people try learning it from somewhere and they give up. This is a very common thing which I noticed from a lot of people. So it basically if you take up the right approach, if you basically try to go in a right manner, if you take up the basics first and then basically jump on that algorithm, you will find out very soon that even machine learning is more easier topic in comparison to your big data. It is more easier in comparison to big data. It's just that people take up with a wrong approach and get a feel that it's a a huge kind of complex subject, but it's not. It's really not. It is in fact much easier subject if you understand the basics well. The major problem what's the major problem people face is because they take maths as a very complicated thing. It's not. The thing is, if you understand that maths from the perspective that where you're gonna use it, see the practicality of that maths, you will find that maths to be a lot easier. And that is what I'm going to do in this particular course. I will ensure that you take up the maths in a fun way and not like in your school days, like where you used to kind of hate it. I will try my level best to make it as simple as I can. So that once you read that maths, you will feel that, oh, why I was thinking that it's complex. It's such an easy concept. It's just that you understand it in a right way. Yes, sir, I understand. That's the reason I'm going to keep it very, very simple for way. Second thing, this course, I will be keeping it more from the industry perspective. When I say industry perspective, I will be keeping it from the perspective of how you kind of work in your basically in your industry part. What kind of problems industry solve while working on machine learning? Means lot of places I noticed that the courses which are designed are kind of very theoretical perspective. It's good, you will get to know a lot of theoretical perspective, but it's not helpful when you join the real industry, when you join the real corporate term. So this course, I will be keeping a perfect balance between them. I will be keeping, definitely I cannot ignore theory because there are a lot of theoretical concepts you should be aware of, but I will be driving this course even on the practical end. Means I want all of you that once you finish this course, you should be ready to work anywhere. Okay, so that will also be one of my biggest motivation behind this. I will ensure that theoretical content will be there, but at the same time, there should be more practicals as well, so that you guys, all of you should be comfortable. If you join tomorrow a company, you should be able to directly strike on the projects which are given to you there. And that's the whole reason of bringing 10 to 12 projects which you have to solve along when we are doing this course. Okay, so it's not going to be like I will finish the course and then I will say, okay, do this project. No, we will finish one algorithm, there will be one project for it. We will finish another algorithm, there will be another project for it. Okay, so one by one algorithm we will finish, and one by one project we will keep on solving. That would be our approach. So we will not wait till the end to basically start any other project. At the end, you will have your project also. That will be a kind of a complex project of creating a chatbot. Okay, I hope everybody know what is chatbot. If you know Siri, you know Alexa, right? These are kind of chatbots. So they will be at the end a project of chatbot also. Okay, but right now, if you ask me, we will be solving all the algorithm related projects one by one. Okay, so that would be the approach we will be taking. So that is about what we're gonna do with this. As I said, so this is the whole reason why machine learning is getting famous, and that's the whole reason why machine learning have so many jobs present outside. Because it's a domain people know that it have jobs, but they are not able to come to it just because of this blockage of that they are not able to learn this subject well. And that's one of the reasons even companies find it hard to kind of go and see that how to kind of basically get the good candidates in this domain. And that is what this course will help you to get ready with this. No, for both will be there. For in ML also there will be projects, and DL also there will be projects. DL projects, most of the project I will be solving within the session also, because DL projects are complicated in nature. So if I will give you on your own to solve it, you may find it to be little complicated. Okay, but when I say projects of deep learning, those projects will be like, let's say you want to create something like Facebook. In Facebook, have you noticed that you can tag a person and later Facebook can tell you that this is you or this is your friend. You can create such sort of thing. So you will be solving such problem within the class. Or you might have noticed that your iPhone kind of recognize your face, correct? Again, we will be solving that kind of project within the class. So those projects, if I give you to do it on your own, it will be little difficult. So I will be solving them within the class. Okay. So yeah, so that is basically we will be talking about, and I have only one request from all of you. If you really want to gain the sweet fruits at the end of 2.5 months, number one, join all the sessions. There should be no gap. Yes, if by chance you have a gap, please tell me. Please keep me informed. All of you, I think, probably already aware of my WhatsApp number. Keep me informed. DL course, both. All this complex project will be a part of deep learning course because that requires deep learning stuff. Good. Yeah, simple. The first portion of the project, I will not call it simple, but yeah, the initial part of the project will be machine learning projects. But deep learning project will be kind of involving machine learning and deep learning together both. It's a combination of both. So that will be kind of more practical from the industry point of view. Okay, anyway, coming back to this. So the first request is that all of you have to join. If you don't have a WhatsApp, please do email, whatever way is okay with you. I will give you my number also if in case you don't have it. But please ensure that you let me know in case you have not, so that I can guide you if there's any extra thing required or whatever. Second thing is that if in case you are kind of doing this, I know that there are a lot of people who are kind of even working people. They are working in corporates and all that, and it's very difficult for everyone to kind of spend time on weekdays. But if you really see, do you really think the billionaires whose name you keep on hearing, they just become billionaires like that? No, right? They definitely have done a lot of hard work to basically reach to that stage. Correct? No more, don't bother about the time part. Don't bother about that. You already know my teaching, right? So you need not bother about that. When is the last class of this and all that? I really don't want to bother about this point. It can be extended, it can be on 9 June, it can be whatever that means. I will not count with the time part. Yeah. So as I was saying that here, just keep that in, and I will give you the WhatsApp number about just hold on. Yeah. So the second thing is, they definitely did not become billionaire just like that. They have put years of hard work to reach that level. When they can do that, can't you give me just your 2.5 months? I'm not asking for your blood. I'm not asking for your more time. I'm just asking for your 2.5 months of hard work. That's it. I know that this course will demand some hard work, but if you will do that hard work properly, trust me, after 2.5 months, you will come to my home with a lot of sweets. You will really thank me at that time. So just 2.5 months of this time frame I need from you. It is going to keep you hell busy with this 2.5 months, but please make sure that you kind of spend this 2.5 months in the right way. You do it and you will enjoy that sweet fruits at the end of this. That is the only request I have. And you have to do nothing special here. There will be few assignments and all which I would expect you to solve. There will be few projects which I would expect you to solve. If you review the course lectures properly, you will be able to solve those projects well. And those are the places where you need to spend the maximum time. And there will be 1 or 2 books also which I will be suggesting you, which I would expect all of you to read. Only this much you have to do in this next 2.5 months. You follow that and you will yourself notice that you will have enough knowledge to even kind of compete with 2 to 3 years of experience guy of deep learning machine learning. So that is something which you will get, but you have to promise me that yes, you will spend some time on this course. Without that, it's not possible. If you will try to keep backlogs, please don't do that. Because if you will keep backlogs, you will feel too much overwhelmed by the end of this course. Because every week, the concept will only accept the first week. Concept will move, keep on moving, and you will feel that too much of content is being done. So unless and until you are revising, unless and until you are completing your assignments and projects, you will start feeling that too much of things happening. Please don't do that. Please don't keep backlogs. Otherwise, it will become too much for you to handle in a single week. It will become really too much. Okay, so this is these are the few things which I wanted to announce along with this machine learning component. Okay, so I just explained you why machine learning is a buzzword. Talking about few examples of it. When I talk about machine learning, there are majorly two kinds of machine learning algorithms what we have. Okay, there are two kinds of machine learning algorithms what we have. Number one is your supervised learning, and second one is your unsupervised learning. The example of Gmail which I gave you is your supervised learning problem. We will be talking about that, what is supervised learning. Unsupervised learning are kind of like your marketing campaign which happens on Facebook. But anyway, we will talk about those components in detail later. What we are going to plan now is, first of all, everybody is sitting with their laptops. Is everyone sitting in the session with their laptops? Is there anyone who is not? Okay, great. The reason I ask you this question is because we will be doing some hands-on activities in the class also. In case if you don't have it this week, Mohit, you are able to manage? I know that in the previous batch you had this trouble of laptop. Or not yet? That's the reason you were silent. Okay. Please make sure, Rohit, that next week you can manage it. Yeah. No, this week anyway, we have only today class. So you will not need it much. But starting from next week, please make sure that you come with a laptop. Okay. Now, so here, what we're gonna do, first of all, as I said, we will be doing a lot of practicals also. Okay. So this class is going to be very much practical oriented. Have a desktop? Do I need to have it? No, no. If you have a desktop, it's completely fine. I just need a system where you can practice. The reason I ask this question because a lot of people take the sessions from their mobile or from their tablets. So even if you're taking it from the tablet or mobile, please ensure that you kind of still sit here along with basically here on this with the laptop, so that you can do some practice along with me. Today class there will not be much, but starting from next week, you will notice that there will be a requirement for you to be with a laptop. Okay, so I will be giving you a lot of activities to do, which you have to do it along with me. First thing, let's start with R programming language. Okay, so we will be setting up R, installing R, understanding how it works. A lot of things we're gonna do. I will also be telling you a online environment in case if you don't have it for today, you can run it there. Okay, so that's all completely fine with me. You can use all of that. So you have to basically for now just listen to me, kind of what are the steps I'm following up for R programming language, and basically you have to follow that. After that, setting up the whole systems and everything basically after the class. So you can just do that. Today's session, whatever you want to do, you can do it on the online session. Okay, so let's see how to set up R first. Number one thing, you need an R. So the first step would be you have to say install R. Now whatever operating system you have, you can mention. So let's say I said install R Windows. As soon as I will do that, it will take me to this first link. You can see that this CRAN R project. Okay, CRAN R projects. If I click on this, this will take me to a page here. Now here you will notice that it will be telling me if you are using Mac, you can accordingly put Mac. It will take you to your Mac page. You have to click on this download R 3.50, whatever is the latest version, just go ahead and download it. Don't take the older versions, just go with the latest version. Just download this. It is going to be an 62 MB file. I think for the Mac systems also it's same. It's an executable file. Double click on it. Next, 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 next. R is installed. That's so simple basically to set up R. When R will be installed, it will look like this. When you will open that R software, it will look something like this. Looking like some old day system software, right? It looks like this. Means it will create a GUI for you. If you go to your menu, your Windows menu, and or if you are using Mac, you can go to your Finder and just search for R. You will notice that it will open up something like this. Okay, this is how R looks like, and here you can just start operating whatever you want. For example, let's say 2 plus 2 is 4, and so on. Anyone here who know MATLAB or have heard about MATLAB? Oh, that's awesome. Why? Okay, people who know MATLAB, this language is kind of derived with the same idea. Okay, this is kind of a very similar MATLAB thing. Now you might be asked, you can ask me why R is so popular among machine learning people. Why not other languages like Octave, MATLAB? There are so many other frameworks also. Why R is so popular? Why people are kind of building so many algorithms on R when it even in the corporate world? The major reason is R is first of all very simple. That's number one thing. Second thing is it is not general programming language. This is one of the R programming language where you can, this is written specifically keeping data scientists in mind. So what is happening here, that the people who work as a data scientist, only for those people this language is created. Earlier it was named as S. I don't know why they give the name ABCD, but yes, earlier it was named as S, then they renamed it to S plus, and then they make it as R. I hope now they will not change it to R plus tomorrow, but yeah, that's how basically this language R came up. But this is created keeping specifically the programmers of machine learning in mind. Now, one interesting thing about it. How many of you are aware of a software called as SAS, S-A-S, SAS programming framework? Have you heard about that? SAS. Okay, few people have heard, few have not. Let me tell you what is this. In earlier days, even now, there's a company called as SAS. What they do, they provide their software to the data analyst to solve the problem of machine learning or data scientist. SAS is very easy to use, convenient to use, but there is a problem with that. The problem is, if you have ever tried buying it, you might be aware of it. If you take up all the features what you have like currently in R, if you take up all of that, it will cost you somewhere around 1 CR, 1 crore INR per year of licensing. Means for one license, you need to pay around 1 CR amount of money to get all the features in SAS. Do you think it's a small amount? Of course, no. A big no. It is not a small money. That is where, especially for the startups, think about them. They will not be able to buy such a huge costly software if they have to go with their, if they want all the functionalities from SAS. To crack that, people came up with this R programming language. They made it open source. They made sure that everything present in SAS, they also started providing with R. Now, after R came into existence, SAS started losing its charm. Yes, it's still there in the market. People who are using it, they are using it. Rich companies are still sticking with that. That's all okay. Because it's an open source, the problem with R is that if you have a bug, you're gone, right? Because nobody's there to solve it. Because it's an open source. But with SAS-like softwares, you have a support systems to solve. But yes, still now R have become very mature. It's very mature. Now there are hardly any bugs which you will figure out at the corporate level. That's the reason companies now have shifted towards R programming language. Because you can do everything related to stats, you can solve your machine learning problems, everything you can do with R now, and that too free of cost. You need not pay a single pie to our community to solve these problems. So since it's an open source, solve all the problem what my SAS can solve, R became popular. And that's the reason we are going to also work on our programming language. Okay, so that is the reason R have a popularity here. And as I said, it's not a general programming language. When I say general programming language, what I mean by that, like in Python, you can also create a website, right? You can write a code to create a web browser stuff. You can make it connect and work there. All those things you can do. So you can write any of the general programming. Like if you want, you can write binary search and all of that. This programming language, if you want, you can do it. Means nobody's stopping you from it. But it's of no use because it's mainly written for doing your analysis work. So this is mainly for data scientists. Everything related to data scientists is supported here. So that will be the power of R. I'm just coming to this side. Now, is this UI looking good? If you are coming from Eclipse background also, is this UI looking good? The GUI which is in front of you? No. This is not looking good at all. In order to solve this, they came up with something called as RStudio. Let me show you first of all how to download and install it. So you can come here, say RStudio, download. You can also give your Windows or Mac, whatever version you want to. Come to this download RStudio page. This is a GUI for it. Now you can see here that it is also free. If you want to just have R support, means if you just want to run R. But if you want, let's say, some more support, or if you want to have multiple developers working and together and all that, that you can basically go for buying this license. Corporates where I generally work with, I have noticed that they only use free RStudio. I have rarely found anyone going with this commercial licenses and all of that. Even you can see that you can access it through a web browser and all that. So there are a lot of basically definitely a lot of good things which are available here if you are going for RStudio. But for our training purpose, anyway, we will go for free version. We don't need all that web browser and all that. But yes, if you want to go for it, there are even softwares with like $30,000 per year. Okay, so that's basically the RStudio, the corporate versions, commercial license and all. You don't need it. So you can basically use this RStudio. RStudio is a GUI. Okay, it's a GUI. In server, basically, site, you can read it from here if you want. It's basically everything is mentioned. If you want the admin dashboard, load balancing, if you're working with multiple users in the same server, so those things you can do it. You can read it basically what's the difference between each. You don't need all of that. It is basically when you're working with, let's say, project sharing is required, right? Something like GitHub. Have you heard about GitHub site? If you want to have like a version control system within RStudio, then you can use all of those commercial licenses. But do you think you need it for now? No. For your learning purpose, it have everything which is required from the open source this licensing. But if you just are working with multiple people together and all of that, you need sharing, you need version control, you need a web browser to and you need an admin console. All these things, if you want, then you can go for this. Okay, then you can go for the paid versions, but you don't need it as of now. You can just download this first one. Okay, we need only R. You can just download this download now button. It will download an executable file. Again, double click on it. Next, 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 next. RStudio is also installed. Once your RStudio will be installed, let me open and show you how it will look like. If you want, you can do that. That's also free. Okay. For this session, I don't need that. This is how your RStudio will look like. You will see that there will be 4 windows. Okay. This window, you might be thinking that what is this? So let me just open up. So this is going to be like this blank file here. So this will be one window, this will be one window, this will be one window, and this will be one window. Now you might be thinking, what are all these windows? If you look closely, I will go over them one by one. But if you look closely, I can also hit here. This is looking like my R prompt, which I was seeing from here. Right? I have this R prompt here also, and similar R prompt I can see it from here also. So I can write 2 plus 2, and you can notice that it is going to return me 4. Right? Same way, the way we have done it, We basically can see the things here. Now here you can perform all your R operations. You can easily perform whatever operations you want easily here. Now, what is this then? Inferred is nothing but your environmental variable. So you can ignore it. You will never be using it. But here, let's say I want to create a variable A, and inside that variable I want to save something, let's say 3. Can you notice here also a thing A came up? This basically tells you your environmental variable present in your session. So in this particular session, whatever environmental variables are available will show up on this side. You can see that it's also showing you that the value of A is 3. If I type A, you will notice that it will return me the value A. Right now, if I have only A, but let's say I want to create B. So I can say B is equal to 2. See, on the right hand side here, as soon as I will hit this, you will notice that it will show me value of B. See, B will also show up here. If I close this RStudio and open it again, will this environmental variable show up? No, it will be no more. You might be thinking, what's the use of this? Hold on for this part. You will get an idea once I start this. It is quite useful actually. Once we will start working with our art topics, you will notice that this portion is going to be very useful. But for now, just understand on the right hand side, this portion, what you are noticing, here your environmental variables show up. On this part, I can hit my R script. One more way of writing this equal to sign, like for example, I have used this B is equal to 2. In R, there is also one more assignment operator like this, arrow and this. This is also another kind of and symbol which you can use for assignment. In fact, in R, for assignment, this is preferred way. If you use equal to symbol, that's also fine. But in case if you are going to use this symbol also, it's also fine. And in fact, in R, this is preferred. Okay. But both the symbols are supported for assignment. So in case if you want to see the value of B, you can see it's 2. Now, one more thing. What is this? What is this portion? This is where you can write your whole code into a file. For example, let's say I will say I is equal to 10, sorry, I assignment 10 like this. And then I'm printing the value of it. Let's say you have written the code here and you want to run it. Just select both of them, click on run. Notice that A assignment 10 and A ran together. So you can create a file and then run it together as well if you want to keep your code in, let's say, in one file together. So those things also you can do it while keeping your code here. So either you can hit your code line by line from here, or you can just write your code from here and execute it together. Even you could have executed one by one also, that's fine. Select this and hit this. You can see that A values in this. Then after that you want to run this, select this, click run. You can see that it's giving you the value. So like that, whatever way you want to do it, you can do it. So let's say you got a code from together from some other developer, you want to run it, bring it to your RStudio and run it like that. So this is how you can use your upper hand side. So we have discussed about this part, we have discussed about this part, we have discussed about this part. There are a lot of things which you can do from here. Okay, I will be showing them together one by one. When the time will come, I will keep on showing you one by one that what exactly is this portion. You can see your plot, files, package, help, viewer. Hold on for this, we will discuss that. Now, this is your normal R programming studio. So basically you can see that here it is still far better in comparison to your using this prompt, because this only have one way of doing it. Secondly, with RStudio, you will notice that you will also have auto suggestions. Means like in Eclipse, when you write something, it automatically starts suggesting you that what function you want to apply. So similar way, here also you can basically when you will be writing this code, you will notice that as soon as you will say dot, it will show you that okay, what are the functions which you can use. So it will give you auto suggestions. So these are some good functionalities in RStudio. Okay, so this is quite powerful. In fact, the whole R community kind of prefer using RStudio. It is quite powerful. Okay, so this is one thing. Now, for people who are going to work on online environment, let me show you a few of the online environments. Like for example, you want to do some hands-on activity in the class. So installation you can do it after the class. I don't want to spend time on that because that will eat up the lot of time of the class. But we will be doing. I will be asking you to do some sort of practical activities. So for that, I would like you to do this. I don't know why this is hanged. Just give me a moment. Okay. So there are few places which you can use. This JDoodle is quite good. Even you can use this compile online or rfiddle also. They both are equally good. But you can see that how you can work on this. So let's say you want to say x is equal to 10 and y is equal to 25. And then if you want to do x plus y, you want to, let's say, execute this much. You can just click on this, select this, click on execute, click on execute. Can you notice I got the value 35? So like this, you can basically also write your code here and can execute. Similarly, there are some other also which are good. Like I said, even rfiddle is good. You can use this. You can come here. Okay, they have migrated it now. This used to be good. A lot of my previous students have used it. I think they migrated it. Let me see if I can open that. Yeah. So you can see here also you have the same way of working. You can just write your code either here. This is just like they've tried to create the things just like RStudio, and you can click on this run button and do it. It is not yet open fully, but once it will open, it will show you this run button. Or you could have written it here also. So you can see that our session is not yet on. I probably need to refresh it. Or as I said, you can also not this one. Pizza.io, don't use it. Compile online, you can use it. This is also one another editor. So here also you can see that you can write your code. Let's say you are writing your code here. Okay. So you can write your code here and then basically you can execute it. So you can click on execute. So you can see that on the right hand side you will have your outputs. So like this you can use any of it, and if you will type just basically R online, you will see all of that. So either you can go with JDoodle, or you can go with compile online, or you can go with rfiddle. Rfiddle they have just recently moved on, so in case if you face issue with that, you can use these two. These two are quite good, JDoodle or compile online. So you can perform all of your activity. You can perform all of your activities even from this open source. Okay, so no need to install in case today you don't have it. Then you can just basically execute it from here. So today all the activities which I'm going to give you, you can do it from here itself. Any question from anyone till here on the setup part, from where you can do it with RStudio online component? Any questions from anyone? Clear? Great. So let me start with our first topic. I will be using HEMA RStudio. Okay. In fact, I would suggest if you can also use RStudio only. In case if you will not be able to do, then only go for the other mediums. Okay. So I will not be using this normal R. So I will be using this RStudio because this is the one, guys, you will be using even in your corporate world. Okay, just give me a moment now. Okay, number one thing, no need for rushing across for basically trying to figure out that how I can basically whatever activities I'm going to do, Do I need to make notes and all of that? No, nothing is required. Let me show you. We have already created the documentation for you in detail. So everything I'm gonna do in the class, every document is already created. I will also tell you how to create such sort of documents if you wish to. Okay, so in case tomorrow you want to create such sort of HTML documents, how you can create that. I could have created a PDF also. Then why I'm using this sort of document? The reason I'm using this sort of document is because it's basically very much formatted. If in I try to do basically in PDF, the kind of formatting get disturbed. So that's the reason we are going to use this HTML frame documents. There will be few PDF also, but majority of the documents will be like this. So as I said, you need not bother about that from where I can get all this. These notes will be given to you by tomorrow itself. So you will be getting an email from TechLove on this part. Okay, I think older students already have it, so they need not bother about it. So what TechLove will be doing, they will be creating your account, and from there you can access all these documents. Okay, so basically if you have not received any of it by tomorrow, please check with them, because it may be possible that your account is not created for the technical reasons. So immediately call them up and get your accounts data. So you have to basically go to that through your you have to log in with your email ID, and you will have the access to all these documents. Okay, let's go step by step. And one more thing, guys, the recordings for this session will also be available to you. Okay, so in case if you want to revise something, the recording of this session will be available to you after maybe, let's say, 3 hours of the class will be over. Once the class will be over, after 3 hours or something, you will notice that the recordings will be available. Okay, so let's do some other stuff. For example, I already showed you the plus operation. Similarly, you can perform multiple other operations like 5 minus 3, you will get 2. Now let's say you want to do 2 to the power 3. Okay, so you can say 2. This is the thing which is used for 2 to the power 3. So I'm talking about this. When I say 2 to the power 3, it is going to be like this, 2 to the power 3. Okay, so if you say 2 to the power 3, what should be the output? What should be the output? 8. So if you will say 2 to the power 3, it should give you 8. Modulo operation. Can anybody tell me what do you mean by modulo operation? Let's say if I write 5 modulo 2, what is this output? Remainder. Very good. So it's going to be 1. So if you will divide 5 by 2, the remainder is going to be 1. So that is basically 1. Now one thing, if you use this symbol, let's say if you use like this, 5 modulo 2, it will throw you an error. See, it will throw you an error. So in R, keep that in mind that you have to use double %. Now it will be treated as your modulo. Okay, this keep the syntax in mind. You can also perform some sort of complicated operations. For example, you can say like 100. I'm just writing it randomly. 100 into 2 and 100 into 2, and I can just say plus 50 divided by 2 like this. You could have also done it like this. You can write even your complex operations like that here. So all those things are possible to write basically in this. I'm just making it big. Now, so this is about your normal operations, that how you can work with it. Now, number 2 thing is variables. I showed you how to create, right? I already showed you that how to create variables, like either you can use this assignment operator or this operator, whatever way you want, you can basically do it. There is no problem with the variable component. Now, second thing is, let's say I want to see some sort of data types. What are the data types which are available in R programming language? Because when I'm working with R programming language, definitely there must be some sort of data types being available, like integer, character, boolean. So what are these things? So let's say I am creating a variable n 2.2. Okay, now sorry, 2.2. So you can see in the environmental variable also I got the value n. Now if I print the value of n, it is 2.2. But what's the data type of it? in case if you want to check the data type of n, you have to just say class of n, and you will notice that it is going to tell you that what is the data type for it. Now, when you are working with R, there is nothing like double or integer. Yes, there is an API called as typeof which can give you the result, but I'm not going into that for now. Everything is number is going to be numeric. It can be 2. Let's say I could have said A is 10. Okay. And now if I say class of A, it is going to still return me numeric. So you can notice here, doesn't matter if it's a decimal value or a normal value. Any number is going to be of the type numeric. Okay, so keep that in mind. I have either this or this. Now what I want all of you to do is, let's say I have a variable b which is going to, let's say, be true, like this. I want you to create a logical type and tell me, if you do a class of b, what is the output you are going to get. Run it. If you have RStudio, run it at your end. If you don't have RStudio, you are using your online portal, just run it from there and give me the output. Good or not? This is just to give you a little bit of hands-on activity so that all of you get little bit of hands-on with this programming language. Good side. Arun, I think you must have not run it. You just directly gave me this output. Otherwise, you should have got a different answer. Please run it and tell me what exactly should be the output. Rupesh, I think you did not run it. I can make out from your answer. All others whose name I have not taken, you are giving the right answer. People who are giving me the wrong answer, I will just catch them up. Good Meghna, good Arun, good Vibodh, good Naveen, good Swapratim. No Venkatesh, definitely a wrong answer. I think you did not run it properly. You have to do a class of B like this. You have to tell me the data type of a variable, not the value of it. Hema, how about you? Pankaj? I'm pretty sure, Hema, you have not run it. Am I right? You need to run it. Because that's a wrong answer. Here, if people who have run it, you should have got the answer logical. Some people who have not run it, they are giving me Boolean because they're thinking that it's a Boolean. Yes, you are right, it's a Boolean. But in R, it is represented as logical. Okay, that's the reason I gave this exercise, to even check that how many people are actually running it. So if you run it, you will get logical. Similar way, you have multiple other data types. For example, you have like B. Let's say if I say hello world like this and do a class of B, it is going to return me a character. It's a character type of thing. So basically, when you keep the values like this, it's going to be a character. Now, so this is the way you can check any of your data type in R. You want to just have any variable and you want to check the data type of it at any moment. You just need to say class of that variable name, and it is going to return you that what is the corresponding data type for it. Okay, so that is basically one thing which you have to do here. Now, that is one thing. Second thing is, let's say you want to do some sort of comparison operators. For example, you say 5 greater than 6. It is going to return you false, right? So like this, you can do even comparison operators. You could have also used greater than or equal to, less than or equal to. All those things basically are supported here. Now, if I have to compare, let's say 6 is equal to 6. Is this the right thing? Is it the right thing? Very good, Amrut. It's not. Because this equal to is an assignment operator. If you want to do a comparison, you need to use double equal to. Okay? Not a single equal to. You need to use a double equal to. So keep that in mind. This is just following the same trend like how in your other programming language it follows. Now, second thing. If in case you want to print some values, right? So you can just say either the variable name itself and it will just print the values for you, or you can also use print symbol as well. For example, let's say I have a value x as 10. If I just say x, it is going to print. Otherwise, actually it is internally calling this print statement only. Though you are writing x, but internally it is calling this print statement. Internally, this is what is getting executed. So keep that in mind, that how you can also perform all these operations here. So in case if you notice some developer explicitly using print statement, that doesn't mean that he's writing wrong. It's just that he's basically using the different way. One more thing. There is also something called as paste. Let me show you what is paste command. This is very popular actually. Let's say if I have a paste command, and what I will do here, I will say hello, comma word. Can you notice what this paste command is doing? It is concatenating. When you want to concatenate some of your string character, you can use paste command. Now one thing, can you notice that we have not given what should be the delimiter here, but it have taken space. In case if you want to change that delimiter to something else, you can also do it. You can just say separator. Let's say you want a delimiter something like this. Means between hello and word, you want this. You can do that. For cat data type, is both single or double quote? Yes, both are allowed. Okay. So basically here you can just put separator. It will come up like this. I want to show you that there is also one more API called as paste 0. Now you have to tell me that what's the difference between them. Can you tell me? What's the difference between them? No, it's there, Dana. There is no space. So delimiter is there, but the default delimiter is going to be without any space. Now, what's the reason of paste and paste 0? Two things. And here also you can define separator and all that. So you can define it. Now, one thing is, when you are working with paste 0, it is created later. Paste was a very old API and paste 0 is created later. So what happened? Paste 0 is little more efficient API in comparison to paste. If you ask me with respect to performance, then with respect to performance, paste 0 is better to use in comparison to paste. So you will notice that in today's world, whatever code you will be walking through, you will notice that people will be using paste 0 and not paste. Keep that in mind. It's going to be more efficient. But the reason I still showed you paste is so that you are aware that yes, there is a paste. So in case if you come across a code, old written code where the paste is used, you should not get confused. Okay, that is basically about your paste command. At any moment you want to read the detail about any API, you just say question mark and the name of the API, paste, let's say. You will notice that now I will show you this right hand side thing. You will notice that as soon as you said question mark paste 0 on this part of the thing, you notice that the help page will open up. You can see all the things like separator, collapse, everything will show up, even what each arguments do. Not only this, even the examples will also be here. So you can even see these examples from here and can learn it. So you can follow up this documentation page quite well. You can just say question mark, name of the API, whichever you want to walk through, and it will tell you the details about it on this right hand side page. Okay, so this is the way you can also check your API details as well. Now, any questions till this step? These were actually very basic thing. Correct, Naveen, correct. Great. Now, I will be walking you through our first data structure in R called as vector. Vectors are nothing but like an array. It's going to be nothing but an array. So just like you have an array concept in other programming language, vector also is going to be like an array, keeping the similar data together. For example, let's say I have a vector A. And now, since I have a vector which is I'm calling it as an array, that means I should be able to keep multiple values together, like let's say 4, 5, like this, of 5, whatever. Now, it is going to throw you an error. See this, because this is not the right syntax. If you will do like this, yes, you are trying to create an array, but what is this? It will think that you should only have written this much, A assignment as 1, and what is all this? So it will get confused with this. That's the reason it is going to throw you an error. And you can notice that it is complaining about the same thing, that why do you are giving the comma after 1. So that is the reason it will get confused. Now, in order to do this, I should keep everything in a bracket. And there is an operator called as C. C means combined. Combined. It means combine all these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 together and keep it inside A. See this. Now I got the value of A like this. If I say A, it is going to return me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A question for all of you. What will happen if I do a class of A? If I do a class of A, what is going to be the output here? Not a vector. It is going to be numeric. No, how come it can be character, Xavier? We are keeping the numeric data, right? We are not reading it from a file also. If I am reading from a file, it can be a character. But we are directly inserting the data, so it's going to be numeric. It's not going to be the, basically that what is the type of the data structure. See, vector is a data structure, where it means that just like an array, you can keep the similar data together. That is basically a data structure. So when you will say a class of a variable which is a data structure of a vector, it doesn't mean it will return you basically a vector. It will tell you what is the type of values present inside that vector. Okay. Now a few more things. So let's say if I have U S A. Now if I do a class of B, can I get the answer? Now everyone should be able to do it. Correct. Very good. So now if I do a class of B, you will notice that it is going to return me a character. A question for all of you. Can you create a vector of 3 Boolean values and then return me the class of it? Very quickly do it. Now you have to give me the code. Copy paste me the code here. Good, Arun. Good, Venkatesh. Good, Sapratim. Good, Naveen. I think you missed out, Naveen, to do class of A. Good, Sai. Good, Rupesh. Rupesh, you need to give me the code. Good. Good, Vikram. So as everybody have rightly done, you can just basically create a vector at any moment by saying true, false, true, let's say, and then you can say class of C, and you will notice that it's going to be logic. Okay. Now a question for all of you. What should happen now if I do like this? Remember I told you that vector will keep the similar data type, not the different data type. What will happen now? No, it is not going to throw you an error. A lot of people are saying it will throw me an error. See, I got this. Now tell me, if I do a class of V, what is going to be the output? What is going to be the output? Weird? Okay. It is going to be numeric. What gonna happen here? Because vector can keep only the similar data type, it will do a internal conversion. No, it's not going to throw you an error. You can see it's working in front of you. So here you will notice that it is going to do an internal conversion. By internal conversion, what I mean, it is going to convert a lower data type to a bigger data type. Now here, basically the logical part is going to be a lower data type because it occupies less space. And basically what's going to happen in this case, if you say B, notice what it did. It is going to convert the value of your basically your boolean to your integer data type. So if it is false, it will make it like 0. If it is true, it is going to make it as 1. So like this, it is going to do an internal conversion of your data, and basically that's how you are going to get numeric. It is never going, a vector is never going to keep different data type together. It is in fact going to basically just ensure that if the data type is there, it will try to convert and then come up with this. Now, second thing, so you can try that. You can try that on your own. You have system, just execute this. I'm pretty sure, guys, you all must be getting lot of curiosity questions. Please execute them. As soon as you get it, no need to type it for me. Just execute this, you will get the answer. Let me show you another example. Vector V, I will say class, C of, and here I can say A, comma, 1. Now tell me, if I will do a class of V, what should be the output? Yeah, definitely you will get it because that you have not even defined, right? You have to keep it inside quotes side. You have written it A. What is A? A is a variable, so it will try to search for that variable. What is going to be output? Oh, you already tried it? Okay, that's great. But you got the logic why that happened? That's more important. What is going to be the output, guys, here? Character. In this case, your value 1 will also get converted to your character. So if you will mix match, it will always kind of try to convert it to a character values. Clear everyone on this vector component? How this is working? Great. Now let's see a few more examples with respect to vector. Vector is a very strong concept in R. Okay, so it's going to be very popular also. Now let's say what I'm going to do now I have, let's say, a variable called as temp. In this temps variable, what I'm going to do, I'm going to keep some sort of temperature inside it. Let's say 72 temperature for Monday, 71 temperature for Tuesday, 68 for this, 73 for Thursday, 69 for Friday, 75 for Saturday, 71 for Sunday, like that. Okay. So there are 7 temperatures which I have kept inside this variable. If I do a temps, it is going to return me this. But if you look closely, do I have, means I just put it like that this is Monday, this is Tuesday, this is Wednesday, this is Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. But can I just, by looking at the data, can I say this is exactly Monday? Don't you think if I show it to some random person, he may start reading it like Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday? Correct? There's a possibility he can read it like that. Now what I should do, how can I assign that this is Monday, this is Tuesday, this is Wednesday? Not to take it in any other way. You can attach label to it. Okay, you can attach label to it. So the way you can attach label to it is, you can define a API called as names. Now when you say names and give basically this temps here, and now you can assign basically a vector. You can say here like, I'm going to have Monday, I'm going to have Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Okay, like this. As soon as I will do that, and now if I say temps, can you notice the difference what just happened? Can everybody see a label getting attached to it? A question for all of you. Now if I say a class of temps, what is going to be the output? What is going to be the output? Char? Okay. No, it's not going to be char. All the people who gave numeric are right. Keep this in mind. When you attach this label, it is just basically a variable name kind of getting attached to each thing. But the actual data is still 72, 71, 68, 73, 69, 75, 71. And what is the data type for this? The data type for this is numeric, not a character. Vikram, it cannot be a list, right? There's nothing called list. It's a vector, correct? It's a vector. So basically that list is a different data structure itself. So here what we have done, we have just attached a name to each of these words, and basically this is not going to impact my data type. So now if I do this class of temps, it is going to be still numeric because the data still stays same. It's just that we have added a numeric value to it, means a variable name to it, nothing else. Okay, so it's going to be numeric. Now few more things. That is one way of attaching the variable names. Clear everyone till this part? Everyone good? Great. So this is how you can basically attach your normal stuff with this. Few more things. Let's say I have a vector v1 as, let's say, c of 100, 200, 300. Let's say I have this. Okay, and what I want to do here is I want to now take out some indexing from it. When I say indexing, what I mean by that, something like, let's say v1 vector is there. So if I do this, I will get 100, 200, 300. Now let's say I want to take out this 200 from here, 200 from here. So in that case, I can just say, let's say v1, okay, and number one thing, in R, indexing starts from 1 and not 0. If you are coming from different programming language, you might have read that, let's say if I have an array A which contains the value, let's say 100, 200, 300 and so on. So what you do is, this is your index 0. You say A of 0 is going to be 100, A of 1 is going to be 200. But in our programming language, it is going to always start with 1. So if you want to get 200, you have to say 2. A of 2 is going to return you 200. It do not start with 0 index. In fact, it starts with index number 1. Okay. So now in this particular example, if I want to take out 200, what should be the thing I need to write? 1 or 2? What should I write here? I should write 2. Okay. So that's how you can get the data output. Now, one more thing. Let's say now I want to output 100 comma 200. How can I do it? I want to output 100 comma 200. Good, Arun. No, Sagar, you will get an error. Venkatesh, you will get an error. You should try that. So a lot of people are giving me this answer, 1 comma 2. Do you think it's right? Think about it. It will complain you incorrect number of dimensions. Don't you think you need to keep this inside and see? Because it's nothing but a vector you are calling it here. Agreed? Venkatesh, Sagar, got the answer why I said you will get the wrong result? So you need to keep it inside a C thing. Because you need to keep it like a vector. Otherwise, it will again be the same problem. It will think that why you are adding a comma after 1. So you have to use this C to tell that yes, this is what I wanted. So now you can see that you are getting the output. Okay. So this is, I did it actually on V. I should have done it on V1. So V is our old vector. Right? So you can see that here we got 100, 200. What about if I want to get this time 100 comma 300? Give me the output. Now everybody should give me the right one. What if I want to do 100 comma 300? Very good. That should be simple. I can just say C of 1 comma 3. Okay. So this will return me 100 comma 300. One more thing. This is about one portion of it. How about if I go back to my temps variable? In this temps variable, let's say if I do temps of 4, what is going to be the output? 73. Very good. It is going to return me 73 here. Now, there is also one more way to get this. I could have also done here temps and I could have also used this column name. Let's say Thursday. Notice it is also going to return me the same thing. So what about if I want to return Thursday and Sunday value without using number but only the variable name? How can I do it? I want to get Thursday and Sunday values. Don't use the numeric index. I don't want you to use 4 comma 7. I don't want you to use that. Use the other way. Tell me what should be this now. It should be quick. Where we have to use single inverted comma and double. Okay, I will come to that. Good question. Let this complete. I will come to that. Now, very good. So all of you are giving the right answer. You can use C of this, comma. You can use basically Sunday second variable and close it. You will notice that you will get this out. A question from Vikram. Where I should be using double. C means combine. Combine the values which I am going to give you. Got it, Amrit? It means combine it. Okay, a very good question from Amrit. Where I should be using double quote and where I should be using single quote. Can I get the answer? Where I should be using single quotes and where I should be using double quotes. This is same as different programming languages, but if you can give me this answer. Character this, string this, okay. See, simple logic. Double quote you can use anywhere, no problem. Let's say in a double quote, if you say this is and the, like that. Can you notice what I've done? Sometimes it also happens like you are writing the keyword like didn't. Now you have to use the single quote here. So in these cases, you need to use double quote. Because if you use a single quote to close it here, it will get confused. Can you see that you will get an error? So wherever you have the chances that you can use single quote inside the double quote, then always use double quote at the outer side. Otherwise, you can use single quote. So even if let me ask a question. Here, instead of using single quote, if I would have used double quote, will there be any problem? No, there will be no problem at all. You can use even double quote here as well. It's just that double quote give you an extra freedom that inside double quote you can call single quote. Clear, Vikram, now? Yes, better to have double in case you want to visit it. But here I was sure that I have not given any single quote inside my name. So that's the reason I use single quote. But it's completely up to you. You can use double quote also. There will be no problem at all. Hold on. We will talk about that. Yeah. Clear, everyone, till this step? Great. Now, few more things. Let's say I have a vector v1 like this. Okay. Now, or in fact, let me create a new vector. v1 is having, let's say, value like c of 100, let's say I have this much of values. Okay. Now, let's say I ask you that give me the values from 300 to 900. What is going to be output? How you will do it? Very good. A lot of people gave the right answer. What you will do, you will say C of 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, right? And you will get like 300 to 900. But imagine I have thousands of values like this. In this case, will you keep on writing the index like this? Index number? No. Because if I know that it's in range, it's in specific range, it is continuous values which I want, in that case, you can also use another way of writing it. So let's say if you write in R 3 to 9, it automatically converted 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. If you write, let's say 1:100, you can notice that it will automatically put all the values in a range. Now, here also, instead of writing like this, I could have written 3 to 9. So anyway, it's fine. Either I did not give a C before that. Keep that in mind. Because this itself will means that you are going to create an array. Okay. So you need not provide basically this sort of symbol. Clear, everyone, till this part? Any doubt from anyone? Question for all of you. What about if I do this? So this is my V1, and if I say V1 greater than 400, what is going to be the output? What is going to be the output? No. It is going to return you true and false. Okay? It is not going to return you 500, 600, 700, 800. What it's going to return you, whether it's greater than 400, no, false. If it is going to be, return true. Now I am going to tweak my part. What about if I do this? Now what is going to be the output? Now what is going to be the output? Very good. Now it is going to return me the value. No, I will not get true false. Should I? Don't you think now what I'm doing is I'm passing V1 of false, not return any value. V1 of false, no return any value. V1 of false, no value. Now when it will come to V1 of true, corresponding value of that true will be returned. Means now I'm going to get 500, 600, 700, 800, 900. Got it? It's not going to be true false now. It's going to be basically like this. Got it, Venkatesh? So this is how you can basically get the actual value as well. Okay, great. Now what we can do is we can have a small break. Okay. Now before the break, I want you to do one activity. I want all of you to attempt all of this in your online browser. So basically, whatever you have learned, you can create basically the names for it. Like for example, in terms, play with this greater than sign and all of that. So I will basically, what I would suggest you is that basically just follow this, do this activity. Sagar, just try that. After the break, I will again take that question from you. Okay. So basically attempt all of this from your end and then basically get back to me with questions after the break. So I'm going to give you a 10-minute break and basically 3 minutes to complete this activity. So total 13 minutes break, but it doesn't mean 13 minutes. You have to complete this in 3 minutes and remaining 10 minutes you need to complete. That will be a break time. Come back fresh and we will continue with this. So please attempt all these things in 3 minutes and then go for a break. If you finish it early, you can enjoy a little bigger break. Otherwise, it will be the same one. So please be back and I will take up all your questions after the break. And Sagar, please try this on your own. You will get the answer. Please try this immediately. Everyone back now? Can I get a quick confirmation? Okay, any questions now? Sagar, how about you? You got it now? Great. Any questions from anyone? Everyone clear? Great. So let's continue. So we understood that how to kind of work with some normal stuff with respect to vectors. Few more things which we can perform easily basically while working on this stuff is, for example, we can kind of have, let's say, two vectors, let's say v1 having like c1 comma 2 comma 3 like that. Similarly, I can also define some other values here like v2 c of 5 comma 6 comma 7. And now if I want to do v1 plus v2, so what this is going to do, so as soon as I will say this, it is going to add the first element of v1 and first element of v2, which is 1 plus 5. This is going to return 6. 2 plus 6, 8. 3 plus 7, 10. This is how we will be getting the output. Now, so that is the point number 1, that how you can basically perform all these operations and kind of keep it here. Now, once you are done with this, now what you can do, what is this? Yes, that's what I'm coming to. Hold on. Now, after this, just want to show you one more thing interesting here. What will happen if I make my V1 now instead of this as 4 here? So V2 is this, V1 is this, and I'm doing V1 plus V2. Any answer? Any answer? Error? Okay. There will be no error. It is going to throw a warning, and what it's going to do, look at this. It is going to return me a warning here. It's not an error. But how come this 9 came up? This is interesting because if you look at this, we basically have 1, 2, 3, 4, and basically you can see that 1, 2, 3, 4, and basically here we're gonna have 5, 6, 7, right? So how come we are getting this 9 here? So what usually happens is, like if you have, let's say, one vector with extra element and second one with have less elements, what you need to do in this case, just basically it start doing a round robin fashion. Means in that case it will start appending from start. Now it will add the first one to it. If there are, let's say, one more element here 5, then it will add also one more element here 6. So like it will start doing a round robin fashion. So you can see that 5 add up here, 6 add up here. Can you see here that 5 plus 4 is going to return me 9. So what just happened here, it is going to perform a round robin fashion. Okay, give me 1 second. Okay, so that's the reason you are getting 9. As you can see, 5 will get kind of transformed here, and basically 5 is going to be in a round robin fashion, and that's how you're gonna get basically here 9. Now, a question for you: what will be the output if I change this now? So I'm going to change this one more 5. Tell me the output now. If I will do V1 plus V2. What is going to be the output? Very good. So a lot of people are giving the right answer. No, why, how come you gave 10, Sagar? Again count it up. So don't you think that, see, one side we're gonna have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. On second side we have 5, 6, 7. This is the one thing. Then after that round robin fashion. So 5, 6. So 4 plus 5 is 9. 5 plus 6 is 11. Correct? Got it, Sagar? How come we get 11 not 10? So that's how basically we will get this 11 here. Now, so we understood this part, that how basically we can do all this. Similarly, there are a lot of things in it. Like for example, I have V1 and I can say max of V1. So it is going to return me the maximum value out of V1. So you can see here that I have V1 and this is going to return me the maximum value of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Similarly, we have min, standard deviation, prod, so many things available. I will be talking about few things in detail later. Like for example, I want to get the standard deviation of this. I can easily do it with SD function and provide this. But what is standard deviation? Till now, I'm pretty sure all of you must have heard about this standard deviation topic, but you might not have heard about what this standard deviation means. Means what is the practical usage of it? I'm pretty sure a lot of you might have asked you right now. A lot of people just must have mugged up the formula but do not really understand what it means if somebody say my standard deviation is this. We are going to understand this feature in detail. I will give you a proper analogy to understand that what is this. So that in future if you get any problem, you will be able to understand. If somebody says standard deviation, you will be able to visually understand that okay, this is what it might mean. Okay, I will be talking about that in detail. Round robin. Round robin means that let's say if you are doing the some operation or something like that, some operations like that. Let's say one, you have 1, 2, 3. In second, let's say you have only 4, 5. So if I will do, let's say if it is a vector A, it's a vector B. So if you look at this, if I do A plus B, don't you think there will be a problem that vector B have only 2 elements and vector 3 have 3 elements? Correct, Naveen? Now, what will be the output in this case? One way was to throw an error, but R decided not to throw an error. Instead, what it decided to do is, instead of that, it is going to start repeating itself. Means, if there are 3 elements, vector B will also try to become of 3 elements. How? It is going to become, it will do a round robin fashion. Means, it will start from start and start filling the element from here. It have filled, it became 3 here and 3 here also. Now it will start doing the addition. So basically it will add extra elements automatically to it in order to perform the operation on the third element. Got it, Naveen? This is basically what is called round robin fashion. Now let's say if in vector A I had 1, 2, 3, 4. Now you have to answer me, Naveen, what will be the, basically in this case, what is the extra element which I need to add? After 4 it's 5, correct, very good. Yeah, round robin fashion will start from first number. Got it, everyone? This is basically a round robin fashion. So this is all about your normal vector operations. Now let's understand what is matrix. Give me a moment. Yeah, you need not worry about it. We will be talking in detail about what is standard deviation, variance, everything in detail we're gonna work. Okay, so no need to bother about what is standard deviation and all that. Right now we are just focusing on understanding R, because once we get a little bit of hands-on in the programming language, then all the concepts will start sounding easy. Okay, because then we will know how to use it. We will only focus on understanding the stuff, not on the syntax part. So only in the 2 classes we're gonna talk on the syntax and all that. But after that, it's going to be concepts. Okay. So now let's see how we can create a matrix. Anyone here who don't know what is matrix? Emma don't know? Okay. Anybody else who don't know matrix? Oh, you know? Okay. Okay, so everybody know it. Great. So in this case, let's say if I have to create a matrix, vector V of 1 to 10. Okay, I have this data. And if I just say matrix of V, let's see what it's gonna do for me. So as soon as it did this, it created a matrix for me. Ignore what is this. Ignore for now. But can you tell me the dimension of this matrix? What is the dimension of this matrix? No, it's not 1 to 10. Don't you think it should be 10 into 1, Eva? Right? Because I have 10 rows and 1 column. So the rows will come first. So there are 10 rows and 1 column. So the dimension is going to be 10 is to 1, not 2 into 10. Can you see this? Ignore this. This is nothing actually. The main data is here, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This is the data which we have inserted. So the data is only this one. So it is going to be 10 rows and 1 column. That is basically this portion. Now, let's say I want to create it now as 2 into 5 matrix using R programming. Okay, means I don't want to create it 10 across 1. I want to create 2 into 5. So how we can do that? So the way you can do that is in the matrix component itself, just add one more parameter and say n row is equal to 2. Means now it is going to create 2 rows. Okay, and remaining it will create it as column. So you can see it here. It is inserting the data as 2 rows and 5 columns. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. A question for all of you. What if my vector V which I have created, now I'm going to create V1. I have a vector with 11 values. Okay, and now I'm going to say matrix of V1 and row 2. What do you think will be the output? Very good, Arun. Because when I say 2 into 5, how many values can accommodate into it? 10. But here we have 11 values. So where we will keep that? Can you notice there's a problem here? There are 11 values and I just told n row is equal to 2. That means I can only have values like this. Can you notice what just happened here? Is this reminding you of something? Round robin. Very good. So can you all notice that what it is going to do? It is going to accommodate by creating 6 columns. But it is started doing the round robin. Means the first value will be inserted to accommodate the remaining space. Clear everyone on this part? That in case if your number of columns, and in Python you will notice that's not going to be the case. In Python it will simply throw you an error. Only in R, they basically, our community, I don't know why, but they try to basically not to throw any error. They try to, as much as possible, they try to accommodate the things. So they go with round robin and all those stuff. So they will immediately do a round robin fashion and the value 1 will get accommodated here. Okay, that's one thing. If you look at it, what we have done, I basically have inserted the data here, but will it not cause any issue when it comes? No, Hema, that you need to manually take care of it there. You have to manually take care. Means you have to make sure that you should not do any calculation errors, because later if you want, you can convert it to 0 if you wish to. I will tell you how you can do it. But by default, R will work like this. This is our default behavior, but you can change it if you wish to. In case if you want, you can, as soon as you will see this warning, you can discard this matrix and again recreate it if you wish to. Okay. Now, in Python and all, if this was the situation anyway, you would have landed up into error, correct? Emma? You need to correct it. So that's the reason they are throwing this warning. So seeing this warning, you need to make sure that if you're okay with it, then okay. Otherwise, discard this and again create it properly. Okay. Now coming back to this. Now, if you look at this, the way we are inserting the data here is, we are saying 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. See, the data is getting inserted in this way. I don't want to insert like this. I want to insert horizontally. Means I want to insert like this. 1, here 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 like this. I don't want to insert the data vertically, but instead I want to insert the data horizontally. How we can do it? The way we can do it is we can just define one thing here called as by row. By row value is going to be false by default. You just need to make it true. As soon as I will do this, you notice the difference now. Now what happened? It have inserted like horizontal way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's no more vertical. It became now horizontal. Clear, everyone? How this horizontal stuff is working? So basically, this is how you can have the values with the horizontal way. Now, let's play with an example. Let's say I have a vector of Google, and in this vector, I'm going to keep the stock price of Google. So let's say 450, 451, 452, 445, 468. Stock market opens for 5 days or 6 days? Stock market 5 days. So that's the reason we have put 5 data here. So Google stock prices, we have, let's say, these 5 stock prices. Let's do the same thing for Microsoft. So let's say for Microsoft, I have like 230, 231, 232, 236, 228. This is for Microsoft. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to make it like combine both the vectors. So I'm going to say, let's say stocks, and I'm going to combine both the things like Google, comma, Microsoft, like this. Okay. So I got basically this. So if I look at this stocks, I got basically this value. Now a question is, I want to make it like a matrix. If I do a matrix here, I'm going to say, let's say matrix of stocks. Is it the right way to represent? No. So how many rows I should create here? If I want to represent the Google and Microsoft data properly here, how many rows we should keep? 2. 1 for Google, 1 for Microsoft. Very good. So what should I do? I can do here end row is equal to 2. Is it the right thing? Is all the Google data in one row? No. Can you see? It have inserted all my Google data vertically, right? And after that, Microsoft data started. So I need to, what I should do to fix this? How I can ensure that all the Google data should come here and Microsoft data should come here? By row is equal to true. So here I can say by row is equal to true. Now are we right? Yes, we are all right. Let's save this into something. So let's say I'm going to say stock dot matrix. Let's say this is going to be my variable name. Clear? With this example, what is happening here? Great. Now, if you look at this matrix right now, I have created this matrix all good, but I have to still insert some data. Basically, I want to now insert all these things. Like I want to insert Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday here. Means I want to give some label to it. Here I want to insert Google, Microsoft. Otherwise, it's of no use. I want to give something to it. If I use just names, it don't work. So I have to use another API called as call names for this and row names for this. So how can I do it? I can say row names, and basically here I want to assign stock dot matrix. Okay, to this one I want to allocate what the row names I want to assign: Google, comma, Microsoft. If I do an insert and see the stock dot matrix, look at this. Looking good now, right? So using this row names in my matrix, I can assign basically any of the naming convention. Now, what should I do to make Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday? Give me the command quickly. Give me the command. Not names. Names is only for a single vector. We have to use call names here. So basically, what is the change I need to do here? So first of all, these values will change. Okay. So here we're gonna have Monday. We're gonna have Tuesday. Here we're gonna have Wednesday, Thursday, and after that Friday. And here I need to make it as column names because I'm going to talk about columns. So here, as soon as I will do this, and look at this part. Clear everyone how this works? Bikram, can you see that in this example, just to show you, I have used single quote and double quote. Okay, I have intentionally done that just to show you it doesn't really matter. So here, this is how we can create an appropriate matrix. Clear? So this is how you can create a matrix and play with it. So we will be working on this matrix actually in detail because we have to perform multiple operations on it. So this is something which we will be playing basically a little later. So I will be showing you that how to play with this matrix. Before that, I want to talk about one more thing. Okay. Can everyone quickly create the matrix at your end? Where what I want you to do is, I want you to take Google, Microsoft, and Facebook. 3 companies. Okay? 3 companies. Put their stock market into a matrix. The whole code is already in front of you. Just quickly do it. Because this actually you need this for future defense. So that's the reason it's better that you do it right away. The code is in front of you. Create a matrix having 3 stock prices now. So right now I created only 2 for Google and Microsoft. Now I want you to create for Facebook also. Once you are done, you need to send me the code. Okay, just don't send me the output, but send me the code which you have written. But Mohit, this is not the whole code, right? You just created a matrix with everything together. Means it will create, I think, yeah. Give me the full code. Okay. Naveen, can you send me the whole code? That's okay, Nitin. You have anyway completed all that. I think this must be a cakewalk for you anyway. You have already done the course, right? So these things must be a cakewalk for you. Arun, which portion you want me to explain after matrix creation? You assign variables. Yeah, that's just a name. You can, if you're not liking it, Arun, you can give it a name as Arun itself. That's okay. It's just a name. Don't go by this. Get confused with this dot. It's just a name. Okay. So you can give it like Arun. That's it. That's okay. Good, Mohit. Very good, Raj. Xavier, you're getting object Google not found, so you need to, I think, fix it. Done, everyone? So you need to do nothing here actually. You have to just add an extra vector, and that vector you need to add. So here it will become 2 or 3 in n row. In n row is going to be 2 or 3. Very good. It's going to be 3. So what we have to do here, we will just put 3. And what about by row? It's going to remain false or true? It will remain as true. So these are the things which you have to do basically in order to create this sort of vectors. Now, let's go ahead. So we just understood how to basically play with this. But now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a matrix. Let's call it as mat. Let's give it like matrix here. I'm going to have this value from 1 to 50. By row is equal to true and n row is equal to 5. So as you can make out that this matrix is going to be the value between 1 to 50 having 5 cross 10. Now let's say if I ask you to give me the value of this 2, this one, what you will do in order to return me this value 2? What you will do in order to return this value 2? Very good. So you have to write here mat of 1 because this is starting from index 1. In row number 1 it is there, comma 2. So it is going to now return you the value 2, right? So this was the matrix, and in this matrix I have basically returned the value by writing mat. So basically this is going to be a row number 1 and this is column number 2. So that's the reason I said 1 comma 2, it's going to return me 2. Another question for you. Can you return me the whole first row from here? Very good, Sai. No, Mohit? No, Abhilay? No, Sagar? See, what you have to do here, I want basically the first row, right? I want the first row, so I will put 1 first of all. Now I want all the columns, correct? I want all the columns. So one way is that I can say 1 to 10, correct? Sorry, 1 to 10. So it is going to take all the columns. Or second way is, don't even say anything here, leave it blank. When you leave it blank, it means consider all my columns. So if you say mat 1 comma and nothing, that means I want to consider all the columns but only one row, which is the row number 1, to get this output. Got it? So this is the way you can also return me the value from 1 to means first full row. Now if I want to return, let's say the column number 6, means this 6, 16, 26, 36, 46. Tell me what you will do. Very good. So what you will do? So you have to say mat. Now you want all the rows, correct? So don't put anything here because I want all the rows. Now you have to just get the column number 6. Just keep this here. So this means that take all my 6th row and basically all the data from only 6th column and take all the rows for it. So that's basically how you can get this. Now another question for you. What I want you to now return me is, I want you to return me basically the values here as 15, 16, 25, 26, only this much. Now do it and give it to me. You have to do this activity at your online editor. So go in your online editor, quickly create this matrix. The syntax is in front of you. Quickly create this matrix and return me 15, 16, 25, 26. You have to do it at your end and then only return me this. Mohit, don't you think you will return all the data from 5 and 6? I don't want that, right? I only want the data 15, 16, 25, 26. Can you fix that? Hema, where is your answer? Yes, very good. So a lot of people have given the right answer. I'm really happy with that. So here, what you want the second row and the third row, because 15th is 16 is sitting on second row and third row basically have 25, 26. So you will say here basically second row and third row. Okay, but if I leave this, it means that it will take all the columns. So I want to restrict it with the columns also. Now 15, 16 is sitting on what column? Fifth column and sixth column. So I need to say fifth column and sixth column, and see, I will get the output. Clear everyone? Anyone confused with this? Great. So this is how you can retrieve your data. Yes, sir. So output will be 15, 16, 25, 26. Okay, great. So this is about your normal operations here. Now a few more things. This is a matrix mat. This is the output, right? When I say mat, this is the output. Let's say if I say 2 into mat, what does this mean? 2 into mat. Multiply all the values by 2. Very good. So now you can see that I will be getting like 1 into 2, which is 2, 2 into 2, which is 4, and so on. Okay, so it's basically going to multiply all the elements present in this matrix. Similarly, you can do a division, multiplication, power, everything. Now let me have a question for you. What will be the output of this? See this. I have already executed that, my mistake. But if you look at this, what it is going to do, matrix is greater than 17. So you can notice that it just basically returns false wherever it cannot return any value, and will return true wherever it is perfectly following the condition greater than 17. So that is how basically you can play with your matrix. Now, few more things. Coming back to my original portion of your basically Google and Microsoft example. So let's say if I come back and if you remember my matrix, stock.matrix, right? That was my matrix, stock.matrix. So this was my matrix. Let's say I want to check that on Monday, what is the total amount for Monday? Means for Microsoft and Google combined, what is the costing on Monday? What is the total costing on Tuesday? What is the total costing on Wednesday? And what is the total costing on Thursday and Friday? How can I do it? So what you want to do, you want to basically sum up with respect to your columns, right? So there is a simple API for that called sums. You can see that it automatically starts at this thing called sums, and just add your stock matrix, and you will notice that for Monday it is 450 plus 230, which is 680, and so on. Now, tell me one more thing. If I want to add, let's say, although it will not make sense here, but still let's do it. So let's say I want to add all the Google stock prices for Monday to Friday. And similarly, I want to add all the stock prices for Monday to Friday for Microsoft. What should be the API here? Can you make out on your own? Very good. Row sums. So just like you have a call sums, you also have a row sums. And this, if you will pass here, stock matrix, you will notice that it is going to return you for Google, it is 2266 and now. But it don't make any sense. Can you tell me what I should do to make it little meaningful? Average. Very good. Basically, I should have taken the average, right? For Google, what is the average for it? For Microsoft, what's the average for it? So what should I do? I should divide it by 5, correct? I should divide this by 5. I should divide this also by 5. A better way to achieve the same thing would be, instead of dividing it like that, there's an API called as row means. If you will do this, it is going to return you the average. So if you will divide it by 5, you will get exactly the same thing. So it is going to return you the mean or average of your columns. Great. This is basically one thing. Now, let me add one more thing. Let's say in the stock market, tomorrow a company called as Uber joined. Okay. So there's a company called as Uber which have joined the stock market, and let's say for them the stock prices are 111, 112, sorry, 112, 115, 120, 126. Okay. These are the 5 stock prices for Uber. Now, the problem is, if I go back to my stock.matrix, you will notice that it have only Google and Microsoft. Now, in the same one, I want to add this Uber. How can I do it? So what I want to do I need to add a row or do I need to add a column? In this matrix, do I need to add a row or do I need to add a column? Row. No, I don't want to overwrite. That is anyway an option with you. You can again recreate it. But in the same stock.matrix, I want to add it now. Okay. So the way I can do it is I can create, let's say, a new one also. Let's say tech.stock or let's say the same tech. Now here there is an API for it. rbind. Rbind means row binding, means combine two rows. So what will happen in this? You can say here stock.matrix comma, and you want to add basically this Uber row to it. So you just say Uber. So what this is gonna do? This is gonna, when I will see this text here now, you will notice that it is going to now return me an Uber row for me. Clear everyone? What I have just done with Rbind? So okay, so this is how you can do it. Now a question for all of you. What I want you to do is, remember you have just solved a problem where you have taken basically Google, Microsoft, what was the third one? Facebook, right? Facebook. So you had these three basically matrix with you. First thing what you need to do is add a new Uber to it. That is first thing. Second thing what you need to do is, does it mean way forward should we use only tech and not? Yeah, it's up to you, Hema. Whichever you need it. So let's say now you want to use tech, or you could have even overwrite this thing. If you want, you could have just written it stock.matrix here. It would have overridden it. So if you don't want stock.matrix anymore, you want now with the 3 values, then you can just override it also. Got it? If you use the same stock.matrix variable name, it will just override. Now, second thing which I want all of you to do is, in the same example, add a new column. So you have columns right now, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Add a new column called as average, or whatever name you want to give. Let's say average. And for all this average, I want basically the average in front of them. Like for Google, there should be an average value. For Microsoft, there should be an average value. For Facebook also, there should be an average value. And for Uber also, there should be an average value. Everyone clear on the problem statement? So first of all, in your matrix, add the row called as Uber. Add the 5 values for it, Monday to Friday stock values, and then add a column for it. And in that column, you should have the value of average. Okay, so do it, everyone. So as everybody can make out, we have to use cbind for column. Okay, this is just an hint for you. Cbind API need to be used here. Okay, that's good. Meghna? C and okay, that's good, Anand. Good, Vikram. Good, Naveen. Good, Sai. I'm trying to overwrite my Google file, but it's not reflecting in my file. Fix it, Naveen. That's an interesting thing. I want you to fix it. How to add new columns or rows next. Whatever name, see here, Hema, I have given Uber. Can you see the same name came up here? Similarly, for the column one also, just give the name as AVG. It will take up the same name. Okay. So I'm just gonna show you now everyone the solution for it. So what you have to do in order to get that is, first of all, create a new vector, AVG, and in that vector, don't you think you can all keep your row means? So you can say row means, and here you can just put your tech inside it, right? So now you have added this. So now if you look at this AVG vector, it contains this, right? And now you have to do what? You need to just do a C bind now. So let's do it. So let's say in the same one here, tech. So I just gonna say C bind first thing, and here I'm gonna use tech, tech, and here I can just use AVG, means my vector name. Now if I do a tech, it will give me the average name. Got it now, Emma? How you can do it? So in order to just do this, you just create whatever name you want to, and based on that, you can just provide it here. So that's how you can basically get your C bind values. Clear, everyone? How this thing works? Everyone clear? Great. Guys, just give me 1 minute. The row names didn't add it. No, I did not get your question, Hema. You need to create it separately and then add it. Never do it like this, the way you have done. It is actually a wrong way of doing it. Means technically it will work, but this is not the professional way. Okay, just like how I have done it, creating a separate factor and then add it. Especially for your level, Emma, it's very important because for you, you will be working like an architect or at the management level, right? So for you, it's very important to kind of keep it in kind of in a professional way. Yeah. Everyone clear with the concepts, whatever we have discussed? Tell me one thing. Our language is easy or complicated? As I mentioned initially that our language is easy. Is everyone finding the R language easy or complicated? Easy. So you can see that it's kind of very easy. It in fact, in comparison to other programming languages, it's just all about getting hands-on on this API. Now, one thing, you will be getting by tomorrow an account from TechLove. Okay, so they will be sending you once that's created. You will be getting a link at your account, and basically there you will be having the access to all these documentations. Please make sure go forward for it. And inside that documentation, you will also find a folder called as assignments. Your assignment folder contains few things related to matrix and with respect to your vector. Please solve all those assignments. Okay, you all have to solve those assignments as well and basically complete that before the next class. So make sure that you do it. One more thing, guys. Tomorrow there is no class, as it might be showing up in your GoToWebinar also. Tomorrow there is no class. Reason is there is a conflict with some other batch of TechLove. So that's the reason that we decided to start the batch today. But just for tomorrow there will be no continuity. But starting from next week, it's going to be completely Saturday and Sunday. So this, which means that this week you have some extra time to complete those assignments. One more thing, if you want to get a very good hands-on with respect to your R programming language, I would recommend all of you to buy this book, Amazon.in. Buy a book called as Art of R Programming. This is a book which I would recommend to all of you. Please get a copy of this. Yes, Emma, that's what I just said. Once you get the account detail from TechLove, okay, they will be giving you a link. You have to just go there. So it will open from your own Google account. So you have to just log in there and they will be in folder for assignments, which you need to solve. Okay. Since this is the first class, that's the reason that account is not yet ready. By tomorrow, it will be ready. Maybe by today itself, it might be ready. I need to check with them. So if I just shared this link with all of you, please get this book with you. This is a very interesting book. In that folder which you will be getting from TechLove, I have also kept a soft copy of this book. If you want, you can use that. Or if you want, you can go to Google and this soft copy of this book is also available online. So if you're a soft copy reader, you can use this also. I have no issue with this. This is one of the good books. There is also another book from O'Reilly, this one, Hands-on Programming in R. This is also a good book. In case if you are interested, feel free to use this also. Any book is, you can see that everyone have rated this book to be excellent. So this is also a very good book in case if you are interested. Okay, so you can go with either any of the books, either Hands of R Programming, which is from O'Reilly, or you can go with respect to your Art of R Programming. Any book is fine. Okay, but take any one of the book and read it completely. That is also one thing which I want you to start reading. Okay, so this is it for today. We will be connecting again next week on Saturday. We have to talk on what is called as data frame. That's another data structure very similar to your matrix with just small differences. We will be talking about list. What is the list factor with it? We have to talk about deployer package. It will take almost like 1 hour of the session again to complete this much, and followed by Python. So next week, in fact in next class itself, we will be starting with our Python programming language. Okay, make sure that you come with your laptop ready. Side that we will do once we complete this R and Python as we discussed. Okay, so let's reach to that topic first. Let's first complete the machine, programming side of the things, and then after that we will follow up with what is data science, what is machine learning, and all that. If you can do, that's good. You have to get Python 3. Okay, I would suggest you to install Python 3.5. If you are not done, then just hold on. I will give you an automated script that you can just run it at your end, and that automated script will run everything at your end automatically. You need not do anything there. It will take some 20-30 minutes to execute. Once it executes, everything is all set and ready in your system. Okay, because there are a lot of things in Python side when it comes to deep learning. So I will set up the whole environment beforehand itself. Even for deep learning also, we will set up the whole environment. So that is going to be an automated script, which I'm going to give you. Okay, so great. In that case, let's connect next week, guys. I would call this first week as a honeymoon period, but please make sure that spend some time in revising the stuff, and if possible, at least read some book which I have given you. At least read that, because starting from second week, it's going to be a little hectic. Because once we complete R and Python and start with machine learning, there will be a lot of concepts which are going to flow. So basically, in that case, be kind of make sure that you complete all of that. So thank you, everyone. Let's connect again next week.